Admiral Zektar's mandibles clicked in amusement as he observed the approaching human fleet through the bridge's quantum viewport. The Velkhari War Council had gathered to witness what they considered the galaxy's greatest joke, humanity's pathetic attempt at naval warfare. "Look at those rust buckets," chittered Commander Vex, her compound eyes gleaming with mockery. "Their hulls are practically held together with prayers and primitive welding." The human vessels indeed appeared ancient by galactic standards. Where the Velkhari Armada boasted sleek crystalline hulls that bent light around them, humanity's ships were crude metal constructs, their surfaces scarred by countless battles and patched with mismatched alloys. Steam vented from their engine housings, and their weapon arrays looked like museum pieces compared to the elegant plasma cannons of the Velkhari fleet. 300 years they've been spacefaring, Zektar mused, his forearms working the command console with practiced ease. "We've been among the stars for 3 millennia. This will be over before their primitive sensors can even lock onto us." The Velkhari had come to claim Earth's outer colonies, rich with rare minerals that powered their ever-expanding empire. Humanity had refused to surrender, sending their entire defense fleet to meet the invasion force at the edge of their solar system. It was, by all accounts, a suicide mission. "Sir," reported the tactical officer, "human fleet composition is unusual. We're detecting vessels from multiple eras. Some of those designs are over 2 centuries old." "Desperate fools," Zektar laughed. "They've emptied their museums to face us." The human fleet consisted of barely 60 ships against the Velkhari's 200. Ancient destroyers with exposed reactor cores flew alongside newer frigates, whose armor plating was visibly welded over battle damage. Their flagship appeared to be a massive, ungainly vessel with rotating sections and what looked like projectile weapons, actual kinetic cannons in an age of energy warfare. "Begin the attack," Zektar commanded. "Make it quick." The Velkhari fleet surged forward, their ships' adaptive hulls shimmering as they prepared for combat. Plasma streams lanced across space, brilliant green death reaching for the human vessels. Then something impossible happened. The human ships didn't scatter. They didn't retreat. Instead, they formed a tight formation and accelerated directly into the Velkhari line. Their return fire was a chaotic mess of different weapon systems. Some ships launched guided missiles. Others fired coherent energy beams, and a few unleashed streams of what appeared to be simple metal projectiles. "Sir!" The tactical officer's voice cracked with confusion. "They're defensive systems. They're not standard." Zektar watched in bewilderment as human ships absorbed plasma strikes that should have vaporized them. One destroyer took a direct hit that punched clean through its hull, venting atmosphere and debris. Yet it kept fighting, its weapons still blazing. "How are they still operational?" Vex demanded. The answer came as the human fleet closed to knife-fighting range. Zektar realized with growing horror that humanity had built their ships around a philosophy completely alien to galactic naval doctrine. Where other species designed vessels with centralized systems for maximum efficiency, humans had built redundancy into every component. A human cruiser's bridge exploded under concentrated fire, but the ship continued fighting from its secondary command center. When that was destroyed, it fought from engineering. When engineering was breached, individual gun crews operated independently, their weapons drawing power from isolated battery systems. "They're not ships," whispered the tactical officer in dawning understanding. "They're floating cities. Each section is designed to function alone. The Velkhari's precision strikes, designed to cripple enemy vessels with surgical hits to critical systems, proved ineffective against humanity's brute force approach to engineering. Meanwhile, the human weapons, crude as they appeared, began taking their toll. A stream of metal slugs from an ancient human dreadnought punched through a Velkhari cruiser's elegant adaptive hull like it was paper. The aliens had perfected defenses against energy weapons and exotic particle beams, but simple kinetic projectiles traveling at relativistic speeds were apparently outside their experience. "Those aren't museum pieces," Zektar realized with growing dread. "They're veterans." Every human ship bore the scars of previous battles, but those scars told a story. Each patch of mismatched armor represented a lesson learned, a weakness corrected. The humans hadn't just been fighting among themselves for centuries. They'd been perfecting the art of war. A human missile, primitive by galactic standards, slipped past the Velkari's sophisticated point defenses through sheer unpredictability. Its guidance system was so crude that the defensive computers couldn't model its behavior. The warhead, designed with humanity's typical overkill mentality, cracked a Velkari battleship in half. "Sir, we're losing ships faster than—" The tactical officer's report was cut short as the human flagship opened fire with its main gun, a massive kinetic cannon that accelerated a tungsten rod to a significant fraction of light speed. The V projectile struck the Velkari command ship's shields, overloaded them through pure kinetic energy, and continued through the hull like it was made of tissue paper. Admiral Zektar's last coherent thought, as his bridge disintegrated around him, was that the humans hadn't sent their museum pieces to fight. They'd sent their survivors. When the battle ended 3 hours later, the Velkari invasion force had been annihilated. Of the 200 elegant ships that had entered the system, fewer than 30 limped away to carry news of their defeat. The human fleet, battered but victorious, began the long journey home. Their ships leaked atmosphere, their hulls were pocked with new scars, and several vessels were held together by emergency force fields and the stubborn refusal of their crews to die. But they had won. And across the galaxy, other species began to realize a fundamental truth about humanity. When other races built ships, humans built weapons. When others sought elegance, humans chose resilience. And when the galaxy laughed at Earth's rusting fleet, those rust-covered predators reminded everyone that scars were just proof of survival. The age of human expansion had begun.